101 review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He's the author of the book 100 Project Management Inside Tips. No other than Mr. Patrick Reyes.
Oh,
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Patrick. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
yes, of course. Happy to do that. And thank you for having me on the show, Daniel. Really appreciate it. So, my name is Patrick Reyes. I'm based in Switzerland, 25 years in the technology industry. I studied computer science in university, actually in the US, started my career in Canada, and eventually moved on to Europe to grow and scale my career in technology. I'm also a published author on two books. I'm a finfluencer on Forex, cryptocurrencies, and stocks. And I'm also the founder and CEO of my company, Matterhorn Labs, which recently launched a first service online called EconoCal for investors and traders. And I've been here in Switzerland for 15 years. Absolutely love it here. And that's me in a nutshell, Daniel. So thank you for the intro.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Patrick Reyes, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to come. What defines an insider tip in your book, and how do this differ from standard project management advice found elsewhere?
Excellent question, Daniel. So, a lot of people that get into project management, one of the first things they decide to embark on is to get certified as a project manager. And there are many options. There's the Project Management Professional Certification by the PMI Institute. There's Scaled Agile for implementing agile project management techniques. There's Scrum project management techniques as well. And all of these certifications will give you the basic foundation you need to be a project manager. But along your journey, what you will realize is there are many additional things you can do to really optimize, enhance, and make more efficient your project management technique and experience. So during that journey and the course of about 15 years that I've been doing project management, I learned a lot of things through people, through ways of working, through lessons learned, challenges, mistakes, and bumps in the road you may come across. That I compiled over the course of a couple of years and refined it and published it in this book. And I'll just give you one example of a project manager insider tip. Is a lot of times people lack the ability to communicate efficiently and effectively to their stakeholders. This isn't something that they really teach you when you get certified. So, one of the tips I provide is how to communicate effectively to your stakeholders and how to better manage a project with the right communication techniques to make it more successful in the long run.
Mr. Patrick, beyond the number, what was your philosophy for selecting these specific tips? Was there a framework or core theme guiding your curation?
Um, I would say the core theme came from a big project that I am currently on for the past 3 years at my employer's client called Roche. They're a pharmaceutical company here in Switzerland. And they are embarking on, they've been on it for about 3 years now, the largest SAP upgrade, software upgrade that's being implemented globally. This software upgrade basically moves them from one version of SAP to the latest version of SAP, alongside with some other complementary software upgrades. So this journey I've been through kind of gave me some motivation and some framework on how to uh, draft my book. Because along that journey, I really worked with tens of hundreds of resources on the project. Um, I also came across many challenges, and during that journey, I kind of evolved into writing my book. So that's where I got the framework, the motivation, and the interest to publish my book, which led me to where I am today. So yeah.
And we salute you for sharing to the world, Mr. Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing to the world. Based on your experience, what's the single most common critical mistake projects managers make that your tips specifically help prevent?
Um, right. So the most common mistake is organizational skills, I would say. So the ability for a project manager to step into a project that may have just kicked off, or perhaps is in progress, or perhaps is right at the tail end of going live. And you need to have certain skills to figure out how to get the project organized from uh, tracking all the different actions and tasks that need to be accomplished, tracking any potential risks, tracking any issues and how to mitigate and manage them, as well as any project dependencies. So this is a term used in project management called a RAID log for risks, assumptions, issues, and dependencies. Um, so I'd say one of the biggest challenges again is organizational skills, getting in there, really understanding the lay of the land, how to tackle all the problems, getting it organized on paper, talking to all your stakeholders, understanding their frustrations and needs, and how to better manage them. So once you have a good control over that, including the project plan and the timeline for the duration of the project, how long does it last, what are the key milestones and so forth, including the scope, then you have a much better chance at succeeding in the project. So yeah, to answer your question in short, Daniel, is organizational skills is one of the biggest challenges to overcome.
Beautifully articulated, Mr. Patrick.
Thank
Very
you.
well said. If a listener could only, or viewers only implement one tip from your book tomorrow for a quick win, which would you recommend and why?
I would recommend implementing KPIs to key performance indicators to basically track all of the key deliverables on your project and see the success rate and failure of each of them. And the reason for this is because in my career experience, I worked at a major multinational company here in Switzerland called Nestle, which is a fast-moving consumer good company. They own a lot of beverages and food products on the market. I think a lot of people know about Nestle. They implemented what's called lean manufacturing, which is something developed at Toyota. And through that methodology, they asked everybody at the company to put KPIs and measures for everything they do, from their day-to-day work, from their projects, um, from things that they're coordinating internally or externally at the company. And each KPI on a daily basis, weekly, or even monthly basis gave them acute visibility on what's performing well, what's failing, and how to address it. So a simple KPI would be, for example, on a project is how many issues you have on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and are you addressing them fast enough and quickly enough so it doesn't impact the project? So it's a simple counter You could have 10 issues, and then you could say 5 of the 10 issues are resolved, 5 are remaining, and maybe 2 of those 5 remaining are critical and need to be addressed within the week. So KPIs, Daniel, I would say is one of the quick wins that any project manager should consider doing. Yeah. Mhm.
Mr. Patrick, which tip has proven most effective for managing difficult stakeholders or navigating complex team dynamics?
Excellent question. So I would say one of the most important tips is managing stakeholders in very challenging and stressful situations. So a lot of times people have different neurodiversities, they have different emotional feelings about projects, they have different perspectives, people come from different cultural backgrounds. So when you're working with all these different people on a project, you're going to notice many different attitudes and feelings about things, and you need to manage each stakeholder carefully and individually. Um, so in order to succeed in doing that, one of the tips I propose is something I do personally, which is to be calm, cool, and collected at all times. So try not to get emotional if other people around you do. Keep your head on straight and focus on the facts and the data, including the issues and actions that need to be addressed. And in so doing, you'll be able to better focus like a laser beam on what are the key problems behind all of the emotions, behind the feelings, behind the attitudes, and so forth. Because a lot of times people get emotional about something for a valid reason. You just have to uh, not get distracted by the emotions and really focus on what they're trying to tell you on a fact basis and so forth in order to address it. So that would be the tip that I would recommend, Daniel.
Interesting indeed, Mr. Patrick. And as an author, what are your short term and long term goals?
So my short-term goals are to number one, get more visibility about me as a person and what I'm doing commercially as well as nonprofit. So I recently launched my website, which you saw earlier. So that was recently published a few weeks ago. And my short-term goal there is to communicate, get out there, get known and noticed, so that I could be present online for people to take advantage of my commercial and non-commercial pursuits. Um, and then in terms of a long-term goal, I would say is to publish more books. One book I mentioned that I plan to do is the Forex investing and trading book, which I plan to publish this year. And then next year, I also plan to publish another book on life coaching and also career coaching, because coaching is one of the things I also do on the side. I coach professionally, so I'd like to write some books about that. So I think that's it, Daniel. Short term, communicate, get myself out there and known. Long term is to publish more books. So, yes.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Patrick, and looking forward for more and more success. And I love your photography.
Thank you.
One of a kind. Something else. Please do compile them and publish in one book.
Love to. Great idea, Daniel. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So can you please give a piece of advice for those people out there want to be, of course, like you?
Um, I would say the one piece of advice is to focus on yourself as much as possible from all aspects of life. Health, mental well-being, super important. Fitness, meditation, reading, educating yourself, having healthy and stable relationships professionally and non-professionally. So really to focus on yourself as a person uh, holistically so that you have a strong foundation to not only build on that and do greater things in life, but also to help others in the future that could learn and benefit from you. So I would say, Daniel, is really focus on yourself and become a good, strong person so that you can build on that and do things that are part of your dreams, your ambitions. And once you're successful, then help others and make this world a better place. So, yes.
Yes, yes. Thank you for your advice, Mr. Patrick. And can you please recommend a book that influenced your journey or books that influence your journey?
Yes, absolutely. I would say the one book that always comes to mind that people ask me about that I've read, and I've read, I'd say about 50 plus books so far, and I plan to read 300 more in the coming years, um, is from Stephen Hawking, the late astrophysicist and physicist who passed away. His book on A Brief History of Time is one of the books that resonated with me the most. I really enjoyed that. And every time people ask me about a book that I'd recommend, is definitely that as a starting point to start your reading journey through books.
Yes. Thank you for that recommended book, Mr. Patrick. And with 100 tips, how do you advise readers to avoid overwhelm? Should they tackle them all at once, or is there a prioritization strategy?
Yeah, so they don't need to tackle everything all at once in the book because I actually categorize them. Um, so the tips are categorized under communication, organization, management, KPIs, and so forth. So I would say just start from the very top of the book and work your way down. So everything is ordered in categories and also in most important to least important. So as people start reading the book initially, the first few pages and chapters will guide them to make sure that they attack the biggest problems first on the project so that they can be successful then. Yeah.
Mr. Patrick, what's a tip you believe incredibly powerful but often gets overlooked initially by readers?
Um, I would say one thing that's often overlooked is communication. I have to come back to that. I mentioned it earlier, but communication is so critical and often overlooked. I have been in meetings in the past at prior companies where people are trying to communicate a message, like what's in their mind, but they don't necessarily articulate it very well because they're clouded with emotions, with perspectives, and so forth that may skew their ability to communicate. Um, and it's very important that people think very carefully about what they want to say and how to articulate it before they actually speak it out loud. Because the words that come out of your mouth is what people hear. People cannot read your mind.
True.
Well, not yet, at least. But with all this neurotechnology coming out, such as the one from Elon Musk from Neuralink, but you never know. Um,
Yes.
but communication is key. Make sure you focus on what you want to say, how you want to say it, articulate it well before you actually communicate it to your colleagues or your stakeholders in a meeting, so that they know exactly how to help you if you need the help.
Definitely. And how do your tips address the soft skills essential for PM success beyond just process and tools?
Um, yeah, so in terms of process and tools, um, I mean, there are many things you can leverage that are on the market, and each product and tool out there um, essentially serves a different purpose. So some are for really big companies, some for smaller companies, some for mid-sized companies. Um, so I think your journey as you're going through project management, you will come across these tools and processes. And I think it's just really a matter of selecting what's good to fit. Thankfully, because of AI recently, I've taken advantage of three different AI models I use. So obviously ChatGPT, I use Grok, I use um, uh, Gemini from Google
Hmm.
to help me navigate through these processes and tools and technologies that are in the market. So I provide a specific prompt, such as I'm currently on a project with X number of members, with this amount of budget and this timeline for this sized company. What would you recommend as a useful process or tool to help me succeed in my project? And you always get good feedback there, so that's what I'd recommend, Daniel. Yeah.
If you could challenge our listeners or viewers who are PMs to try one specific thing differently on their current projects this week based on your book, what would it be?
Um, so I'd say the one thing to do differently is to uh, step back, number one, and look at your project big picture. Um, you, as a project manager, you may very likely, there's a high probability that today you are focused on a project in a very specific area and you don't have a big picture view. So, number one is step back, take stock of your project and get a bigger picture view. Number two is when I say bigger picture view, I'm talking about looking at the entire spectrum. So everything from the project management to the budget, to your stakeholders, to the technology. You need to understand the technology being implemented. Like, what are you building? Um, Whether it's a product or a service, the people involved. Um, and once you have a big spectrum view, the third thing you need to do is to uh, see how you can focus on all these different areas more effectively, rather than being too focused on one or two areas at a time. So that would be an immediate action for anybody that would come to me today and say, "What's something I can do today?" Get a big picture view, because if you don't have a big picture view as a project manager, you will not be successful to all your stakeholders and everybody depending on you. Um, and you won't know how to approach and succeed in delivering the project on time, on budget, on schedule, on quality. So, yeah. Mhm.
Definitely. And Mr. Patrick, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my Food 101 in its fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101 Love Letters in its third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Patrick, if you were stranded on a desert island and could only remember one project management tip from your book to ensure survival, which one would be and why?
Um, I would probably have to come back to communication again because I would need to know how to do smoke signals and write messages in the sand so people will notice me.
Yes, definitely. Mr. Patrick, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your books, or whatever your projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel. So I think the first starting point for anybody interested in me or what I'm doing is to visit my website at patrickreyes.com. And you will have access to everything there that I'm doing today. And please take advantage of it. Follow my social media. And thank you, Daniel.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Patrick Reyes because if you support him, for sure, more and more and more empowering books like this to come, more and more and more empowering coaching advocacy to come. So, Mr. Patrick, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.